Welcome to the vegetarian kitchen, carnivorous vegetarian kitchen. Oops. Welcome to the carnivorous vegetarian kitchen. Today we're going to do a Indian dish called Shahi Paneer. It's my wife's favorite dish, so I was tasked to master this one since we can't go out to the restaurants very much anymore. So I'm going to do a rundown of what we're putting into this dish right now. So follow along. The garlic, we have whole almonds, whole cashews, we have fresh ginger, we have some saffron that I soaked in warm water, so to bloom it out, it'll give it a nice color. These are the spices we're working with today. We got some star anise, we have cloves, whole cloves, green cardamom pods. Also, we have cinnamon stick. Normally, this dish would call for black cardamom pods as well, but I don't have any today, so I'm just going to add a few extra green cardamom pods. So what I have here, I have 6 green cardamom pods. I have about 5 whole cloves and 2 star anise. We also have butter, some kosher salt, turmeric, cumin powder, and then this is a blend of chili powder and paprika, as well as some sugar. Normally in this dish, you would, if you can get your hands on it, you want to use the cashmere chili powder, which gives it a very nice vibrant color. Also, we're working with, this is 1 medium red onion. This is 5 romaine tomatoes. I got right here, this is the paneer cheese. This is what we're working with. This is about 12 ounces of paneer cheese. Some fresh chopped cilantro or coriander leaf. And then we're also gonna make some basmati rice to go along with this dish. So right here we have, I already pre-rinsed the basmati rice. What you wanna do with the basmati rice is you wanna rinse it until all the starch comes out. So keep rinsing your rice until that cloudiness comes out of it and the water is clear. And you wanna strain it out. So I got about 2 cups of basmati rice here, already pre-washed, already drained. I'm gonna follow that up with about 3.5 cups of water. And then I also pre-rinsed some lentils that I'm gonna add to this rice as well. So it gives it a nice look, nice color, has a little protein to it. And this is also pre-rinsed as well. You always wanna pre-rinse your lentils because sometimes there's rocks or foreign objects in there. You wanna make sure all that stuff is out of there. All right, so here we go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add all this into one saute pan all together. Got our tomatoes, our onions, our spices, cashews, almonds, whole garlic cloves. About 8 garlic cloves. There's about 14 of each nut. I use equal amounts of almonds and cashew nuts in this. So there's about 14 pieces of each. I also use equal amounts of garlic to fresh ginger. So there's about 8 garlic cloves in there, and same with the ginger. So that's peeled ginger right there. I take it, you can peel it with a regular peeler, you can peel it with a spoon, whatever works for you. I use a knife personally. All right, we're also gonna add right now 2 tablespoons of butter to this. It's about 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of cumin. Normally in this dish you want to use whole black cumin seeds, but I don't have any, so I'm using just some fresh, or not fresh, but I'm using ground cumin. Okay, along with that, I'm gonna add about 1 cup of water. Now what we're gonna do is turn this on to about a medium heat. We're gonna cook all this down for about 25 minutes. Okay, so that's gonna make everything really soft. You want the cashews really soft. You want the garlic really soft. You want every ingredient really soft in this. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna blend that. We're gonna run it through a sieve, and it's gonna create the gravy, basically the base that we're gonna start with. All right. So while this is cooking down, we're gonna go ahead and make our basmati rice right now. So like I said before, we have the pre-rinsed rice. We got about 3.5 cups of water, about 1/4 cup of rinsed lentils. I have 2 tablespoons of butter here, and about a tablespoon of salt as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine the butter, the salt, and the water and the rice, and we're gonna boil that off for about 20 minutes covered. And the lentils. So what we want to do is bring this up to a boil. As soon as it starts boiling really rapidly, we're going to turn this down to a very low heat, cover it, and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll turn it off and let it sit for another 5, and then we'll fluff it with a fork. It'll be all ready to go. Now that this is coming to a boil, what we want to do is go ahead and cover this. We'll lower the temperature down to low heat. We'll let that go for about 20 minutes. And we'll turn it off and let it rest, and then it'll take about 5 more minutes. We'll flip it with a fork. It should be very nice. Okay, so this looks about done. It's been about 25 minutes. See how most of the liquid has kind of reduced. So this is the point that we want to pull this off. So I'll turn off the heat. All we want to do is let this cool down. Trim it. Okay, so our rice is about done. Let's take a look at it. Looks awesome. So we're gonna let that go ahead and sit there for another like 5-10 minutes. Our gravy mixture is ready to cool down, so we're gonna go ahead and add that to this food processor here. So with that, since we were get all the water out of there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more water to it. We do want a good smooth consistency. So I'm adding about 3/4 of a cup of water to that. Okay. That's good. Run this through this sieve real fine. So what this will do, will keep all the spices out of it. We got what the flavor that we wanted out of it. So all the peels, everything. Our whole main focus here is to run this through really, really good. So all that we're left with is the parts of all the ingredients that we don't want in there. Yeah, so this is what you'll be left with. So all the hard chunks, all the skins, everything from all the ingredients. What this is going to do is create this nice smooth gravy right here. Okay, now that our gravy is done, it's time to put the recipe together. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of butter. Going to add the paneer cheese right to that. So the paneer cheese, this is a very dense cheese. It's very good. You can actually sear this, it won't melt. So what right here, we're going to saute this up till it gets kind of spongy and very nice and delicate. So if you're like me, as you can see, the spoon is very yellow. I dedicate 1 spoon in my kitchen to when I'm cooking curry or anything with turmeric in it, because it's just gonna stain everything. So unless you want all your utensils to look yellow, I suggest dedicating 1 spoon if you're gonna cook like this with these kind of ingredients. So anyway, this is what we do here. We're not gonna brown the cheese at all. What we want to do is just kind of soften it up. Now that the butter is melted now, what we're going to do is we're going to add our chili powder. We're going to add our turmeric. We're also going to add our fresh cilantro. What we want to do is wake these spices up. So just going to saute these up in a little bit with the butter. It's going to bring up some nice color, nice flavor. This dish is very rich. As you can imagine, it has butter in it, it has cheese. There are alternate ways of doing this. So if you wanted a vegan option, you can also use tofu instead of the cheese. You can use, any other, instead of butter, you can use margarine. And instead, we're gonna end this off with cream. So you can also use, say, coconut cream if you wanted to keep it vegan as well. If you want to go a little healthier, that's your option there. Now that we stirred that all together, this is the part where we add the saffron water. It's going to add nice little color in there. And flavor as well. We're also cooking this on medium heat. I want to bring that up to a temperature. Reduce the saffron water that we added to there to about half. We're also going to add about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of sugar. You want to start checking the cheese. See, it's starting to become a little spongy. As I said, it's starting to reduce down. As soon as it reduces down to about half, that's when we start adding our gravy that we created here. that up to a boil, let that reduce down a little bit. Not much. We don't need to reduce it by half or anything. We just want to kind of cook out some of the excess water that's in there. And then we're going to finish it off with a little heavy cream. And as I said before, if you don't want to use heavy cream, you can go ahead and use maybe some coconut fat or coconut cream as well. Yogurt is also an option. I'm going to add about roughly a quarter cup, maybe a half cup of cream to this. It's really going to round out the dish. I'm going to let that simmer for a little bit, maybe about 5 minutes. It's going to really bring together all the flavors, and then we'll be ready to eat. Okay, so this looks great. This is the point that we want to go ahead and take a tasting spoon. If it seems like you need a little more salt, you can add salt. To me, this tastes right where it needs to be, so. We're ready to serve. Here's our Shahi Paneer and our lentil basmati rice. We're gonna go ahead and you can serve this with naan bread, of course. Which today we bought some naan bread. We didn't make our own, but normally we will sometimes. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this dish, and I want you guys to try it. And we'll see you next time. Until then.